I have tried to find a quiet corner in my noisy house to explain this um, new game that I made, a board game called Darkage Duel. I will explain how to play as I go. These are sketched out rules. You can see it's real rough right now. I don't know if I'll have a betray on or what later on to make this into a professional looking game. I'm just gonna start playing, do a little setup, and explain what I'm doing as I go. Put like cards with like cards. This game is gonna be about 2 players fighting to the death, duel to the death, with weapons, shields, and special action cards. And this player, represented by this penny, is gonna roll first for a weapon. The first one on the stack is the peasant staff. You see it's got a pretty long reach and does a lot of damage, but only blunt damage. And only half of every turn of every other turn. But if you don't get a shield, then you can use it once every turn. So some of these cards say no shield. With a peasant staff, you might want to hope for that. All right, next player is gonna roll for a weapon. 1, just toss those over there. 2, 3, and the fourth card is the spear. Ooh, variable range, can do a lot of stabby really quickly. But if you have a shield, the speed is reduced. Let us roll player 1 again for a special action. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll take for the bottom 6. Mad dash. Use the actual number rolled on a movement roll. Usually the movement rolls, you get to cut the roll in half and round down. So if you roll a 3 on a movement roll, you're only going to be able to move 1 space. So this special action takes care of that. All right, let me roll player 2, and 1, 2, 3, oops, third one should be it. Throw weapon. You can throw weapon from 3 spaces away all the way to 7 spaces away, and you have to flip a coin. If heads, the damage is the highest stat of the weapon. If tails, it deals the lowest attack stat. Weapon cannot be used on the next turn. So that could potentially get you out of a jam. So could mad dash. That's what they're for. And let's roll player 1 for a shield. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 5. Okay, the dueling shield got a lot of defense in all 3 of the major stats, but it is really slow, so you can only use it half of every defensive turn. But if you successfully defend, you can see there is a knockback damage of 3. That means you do 3 damage to the opponent if you successfully defend with that. You can also defend with your weapon if it does the same type of damage as you're being attacked with. We'll see that play out, probably. I'll make it in. I'll work it in. All right, let's roll player 2 for a shield. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and number 4 is no shield. Okay, so the spear is going to be super fast, but this player is not going to be very defensively oriented, whereas our player 1 is going to be so defensive and be able to do that mad dash thing. So let's try this out. Player 1 rolls for movement. There's a reach of 4. This roll gives him 2 movement potentially, but 1, 2, 3, 4. He only needs to move 1 space to be in range to attack. So we do the movement roll and then roll for attack. His weapon only does blunt damage, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to add 5 to this roll, which is 5. Attack with power of 10. And the spear cannot defend blunt damage, and they have no shield. So they have the option of throwing their weapon to defend or just taking the damage. And I'm gonna say Spear Guy doesn't want to do that right now, so he's just gonna take the 5 damage. And I'm thinking start with 15 health, so we're going with 10 total health for player 1, and no, I'm for player 2, and 15 for player 1. Okay, so that's player 1's turn completed, and player 2 goes next. Rolled a 1, that's 0 movement, but thankfully the spear can attack at this range, so and it can attack twice. So let's go with the higher stats, stab damage, which is 5. So let's roll to attack. 5 plus 3 is 8, of course, and we cannot defend with the peasant staff, so we have to do the dueling shield. So the stab defense is 5. We need a 3. Oh, but we don't get it. Oh dear. And the dueling shield cannot be used the next defensive turn, so I'm just gonna turn that just to remind myself that that is the case. And the spear can attack 2 times per turn, so we're gonna roll again. 5 plus 6 is 11. Oh my goodness. Player 1 is in trouble. So they cannot defend that, and they take the 5 stab damage. So they are back to even. Player 1 has taken 5 damage, and player 2 already took 5. So let's see what's going to happen. Player 1 rolls again for movement. Oh, that's 3, so cut it in half and round down to get 1 movement, which is what we want, because the staff needs 4. Oh wait, we don't. Never mind, we don't need 1. So player 1 does not need any movement, does not want to move, just wants to roll to attack, and we can move this back because we're going to be using it soon. So the peasant staff is going to come into play here again. Blunt damage. So, oof. 7 total. And this time I'm going to use my special action card, which I can use at any time, and have a reach of 3 to 7, which we are in. Flip a coin. So we are going to flip the player's coin, and we get heads, so we get to do the lowest attack, the highest attack, stab damage of 5. Wow, okay. So player 1 is in trouble. They only have 5 health points left, and that's essentially comes as a surprise in the game mechanics, so you can't defend against that. So that's basically the game, and they just go until there's no health points left, and they can move all around and try to get in and out of range depending on what they want to do. Use their special actions if they're applicable. That's it.